A 14-year-old falls to his death, causing chaos among the people still stuck on the ride. Fox 35 with video of the incident on the brand new Orlando freefall tower.
At first, we thought it was a piece of the ride.
And during the middle of the ride, the guy just came off.
The teen falling out of his seat as the ride plunged towards the ground, still hundreds of feet in the air.
We got a little closer, and it was actually a person laying on the ground.
Fox 35 with live team coverage of the fatal fall.
Tyre Sampson was from the St. Louis area. He played football and had hopes of going to the NFL. He was visiting Icon Park in Orlando with his friend's family. Now, the mystery remains. How did this tragedy happen?
We did obtain video of the fall, which we're not going to broadcast, but the discussion between the workers after the accident is very important. Take a listen.
Did you check it? You guys are sure you checked it?
So here's what we know so far in this case. Orange County deputies say that Tyre Sampson fell from the Orlando freefall just after 11 o'clock last night. He was rushed to the hospital where he died. At 12:30 this afternoon, the sheriff said that the death appears to be an accident. Then our crews saw ride inspectors at the scene at around 1:30. That ride is still closed.
We have live team coverage of the fatal fall at Icon Park. Fox 35's Valerie Boyd talked exclusively with the teen's father. But we begin tonight with Holly Bristow. Holly, you have been looking into what went wrong yesterday.
That's right. And for much of the afternoon, an inspector from the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Affairs was right back here at the Orlando Free Fall ride. They actually took the ride from where it is mid-air all the way down to the ground. The inspectors spent quite a bit of time down there paying particular attention to this seat that it is believed that this teenager fell from. They were taking measurements. He was taking the harness device, putting it up, putting it down, tugging at the device. They were taking measurements. At one point in time, the inspector actually got in the actual chair that the teen was in, and they were taking more measurements, trying to get to the bottom of exactly what happened and how this 14-year-old boy wound up sliding out of that seat and unfortunately to his death. The Orange County Sheriff's Office was the first investigating agency on scene, and here is what Sheriff John Mina had to say.
Our role in this situation is to determine whether or not this is an accident or an intentional act, and this does appear just to be a terrible tragedy.
Now, amusement rides do fall under the category of the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Affairs. They're the ones that come out here and do the inspections before these are actually cleared for people to ride on them. Those were the inspectors that were out here today. It's unclear exactly how long this investigation is going to take. It could take weeks, it could take months, but we'll certainly keep you posted on any updates we get from them. For now, reporting live on iDrive, Holly Bristow, Fox 35 News.
Holly, thank you. And the Orlando Free Fall is a brand new ride at Icon Park. It just opened up at the end of December. At 430 feet high, it is the world's tallest freestanding drop tower. It takes people slowly into the sky and then drops them at speeds of up to 75 miles per hour. And the same company has similar rides at other parks across the country, like the Drop Line at Dollywood. They tell us they've closed that ride for now until they know more about the accident here at Icon Park.
And the sheriff says the teenager was visiting Orlando from St. Louis with another family. Fox 35's Valerie Boyd continues our live team coverage. And Val, you spoke exclusively with the boy's dad today. What did he say?
That's right, John. The victim's father, sorry, it's very emotional. The father, Yarnell Sampson, says his 14-year-old son, Tyre, was on this ride with two of his best friends. When the tragedy occurred, they were visiting from St. Louis.
His 14-year-old son, Tyre, was on the free fall ride with two of his best friends.
When the ride took off, that's when he was feeling uncomfortable. He was like, this thing is moving. You know what I'm saying? He was like, what's going on? That's when he started freaking out. And he was explaining to his friend was next to him, like, man, I don't know, man. If I don't make it down safely, man, please tell my mom and daddy I love them. Like, you know, for him to say something like that, he must have felt something.
He says his son is 6'5" and 340 pounds.
But this one particular ride decided, yeah, we can take you. Come on, get on. You know, when nobody else allowed him to get on the rides. So I wonder what happened between now and then what made him say, come on, you can get on this ride.
He says they should have stopped the ride and wants answers.
This should never happen to nobody else's child ever again. And if I have something to do with it, it never will happen again.
Yarnell says Tyre had an amazing future in football and had hopes of playing in the NFL.
14-year-old young man, he was an honor roll student. The young man had a bright future.
And back here live, Yarnell says he plans to find out what happened to his son. He also says it took 10 minutes for an ambulance to arrive on scene, which he says took too long. Of course, we are looking into those allegations. Live in Orlando, Valerie Boy, Fox 35 News.
Thanks, Val. And the Freefall Tower is the sister ride to the Orlando Starflyer, which is also at Icon Park. In September of 2020, a 21-year-old employee fell to his death as he was climbing that ride while doing inspections. He fell about 50 to 60 feet to an internal platform. We, of course, will continue to follow this developing story. As soon as we hear from ride inspectors or learn new details about what may have caused that teen to fall, we, of course, will let you know.
Make sure you subscribe, turn on that bell to stay notified. So, that's a call no dad wants to ever get. Those kids may have just given that man the key to one of the biggest lawsuits that are going to happen for something like that. Because he said while they were going up there, he said that he basically told them something was wrong. That's malfunction. That falls under safety guidelines. So, as long as those kids aren't lying about what they said, because they lied and, you know, once they get deposed, once they have a deposition, they're going to say that on camera. And then under camera, you know, you can get like 5 years for perjury. I doubt those kids are lying. One of the other things is credibility to the kid, because his father said he was on honor roll, which means this wasn't some kid who was wiggling around and acting dumb and everything like that. Because what their lawyers are going to do, because the offer that they're going to get is going to be in the small six figures, probably like $200,000 or something like that. With the promise of, we'll name something after your kid, and we'll do this and we'll do that, and we'll create a scholarship in his honor for his football team. We'll redo the football field and whatever in St. Louis, or put something in his name and all that, and we'll give you $200,000. And they'll hope it goes away. With an NDA, by the way, a non-disclosure agreement, so that they can put out whatever soft statement that they want. One of the things that also happened too was that the father said that the kid was getting denied at every ride. And just so happens he was allowed at this one. Falls underneath the employees, goes underneath training. That falls for the company. So there's 3 factors already. That's a slam dunk case for any lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, but trust me, I know this. Then the fact of the picture. No parent wants to bury their child, especially at 14. Especially one as intelligent as that one. And I'm not saying kids who aren't on honor roll aren't just as worthy and stuff like that. Don't hit me with that, you Democrat snowflakes. I don't want to hear that. What I'm saying is the future was bright for a child like that. We're in places like St. Louis. It's not. So now we got to wonder a couple of things. Because what's going to happen is they're going to attack his weight. All right, cool. They'll say, well, 6'5", 340, that's a grown man. That's a big boy. That's true. And so what? But because somebody was negligent in their duty, All right, y'all can say, all right, he's a big kid, but he still was getting denied at all the rides. He didn't complain or nothing like that. But it's heartbreaking to know that that kid knew he was going to die. He knew he was going to die. And he said, tell my mom and my daddy I love them. The fact that that dad wasn't crying, the fact that that dad wasn't super emotional tells me he's going to be right with getting this multi-million-dollar lawsuit. And it just sucks, man, because we lose our kids to such bullshit. And unfortunately, this kid, who I guarantee you would definitely went to college. I could promise you that one. Fuck the football. Just off the intellect alone. It just sucks, bro. So hopefully, man, they see this. I'm not a lawyer. You don't have to take my advice, but I would say the first offer they about to give you, nah, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Find a firm that's the highest rated. They got the most goddamn associates so that they can pick through every single thing. Don't do what the rest of these assholes will do and take some guy just because he's taking care of the hood and stuff like that. And there is no color. There is no fucking color. There's some great white guys, some great black guys, some great Arabs, some great Hispanics, all of that. That don't matter. The biggest one with the most associates, because they're going to fine-tune this shit. And you need that. You need your son to have a fight of his life, because unfortunately his life doesn't exist, but it still can, because they can't extinguish what the hell your kid went through. And it's sad because we done told people because they too big that they can't go on rides in Disney World and Disneyland. But we can't do this shit for a fucking amusement park. I'm gone.